What's going on, RW and JV and ATX fans? Today we are doing a Debatesball podcast where we're going to debate over who's going to win each matchup in the MLB playoffs. With your co-hosts Justin Malou and Reagan Williams, as always. Let's get right into it, starting with the NL wildcard. So it's going to be the Brewers traveling to DC to play the Washington Nationals. I just want to hit on this real fast. The Brewers have been on an unexpected tear since their superstar player, Christian Yelich, went down. It seems like they've dedicated everything that they're doing from this point on in his honor. I think it is enough to get them through the wild card game just because the National lineup worries me. The Nationals were a weird team this year since everyone thought they were kind of in tank mode after they cut Bryce Harper, or I don't know if they traded him, after they got rid of him. So at some point, the Nationals, this was an awesome year for them, but I think it comes to an end in the wild card game because the Brewers are more experienced after going to the NLCS Game 7 last year.
I will say, so the Nationals, they started, or at one point in the season, they were 15 games below 500. So that's pretty crazy to see a team that is below, 500, which is 15 games, go up to 25 games at the end of the season. So they are obviously also on a hot streak. And in a one-game, divisional or
one game to decide their season.
Yeah, exactly. And you have one of the best pitchers in all of baseball, Max Scherzer. I'm pretty confident that the Nationals will get it done against Brandon Woodruff and the Brewers.
That's fair. I said that, besides Strasburg and Scherzer, though, their rotation is kind of slim.
That's
true.
Their
bullpen's average and their lineup's average.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that they even made the postseason, I think they completely exceeded expectations. So I have the Brewers going on to play the Dodgers, and then you have the Nationals going on. So
I do.
Let's just hit on that matchup real fast. So I have Dodgers-Brewers. So from here, I think the Brewers have enough power in their lineup to get through the Nationals rotation, but I don't think they have enough to get through the Dodgers rotation because, how do you say his name? Ryu has been
Hyun-Jin Ryu.
Yeah, he's been insane this season. No one really expected that out of him. And then obviously Clayton Kershaw with a couple Cy Youngs. The Dodgers rotation is just going to prevail them in this series. And I mean, obviously the Dodgers have the most power in their lineup out of all the National League teams. I just think that the Dodgers are going to get it done. I'll give the Brewers a game. I'll say Dodgers 3-1 over the Brewers.
Yeah, Dodgers are a scary team. Over the last 3 seasons, I think this is their best shot at actually getting it done.
I think so too.
And when you have NL MVP Cody Bellinger just tearing it up, and you also have NL Cy Young Ryu, I mean, it's a scary team for the Nationals. And I also, like you said with the Brewers, they just don't have enough firepower to take down the juggernaut of the Dodgers.
What about the Nationals? Do you think they do?
No.
Would you give them a game? Will you say 3-1?
I'll give them 2 games. I think Scherzer will take game 1, but other than that, they'll get a game at home. But then I think it's over.
I got you. And then the other NLDS matchup is Cardinals and Braves. So the Cardinals were an interesting team. They were they were basically playing postseason baseball the entire season, given that they're in the most competitive division in all of baseball in the NL Central. I think they're the most ready postseason team. Now, their lineup does kind of scare me because, other than Paul Goldschmidt, they don't have a guy, that can hit 8 home runs, kind of thing in the postseason. But I think the Cardinals are the most ready postseason team, and they were in a slump for the last couple weeks of the regular season. They almost gave up the division to the Brewers in the end, but they were able to win one game against the Cubs at the end of the year and clinch. Hopefully that slump for them, hopefully they got it all out of their system before the postseason, because you hate for a team to be coming into the postseason with absolutely no momentum. But I think the fact that they won in the regular season in game 162 instead of 163 gives them the opportunity to start their ace in game 1. I think the Cardinals are going to upset the Braves just because the Braves are so young. I think they're going to be really good in the future whenever the Dodgers are on the downfall. But for right now, I think the Cardinals are the most dangerous postseason team if they're playing up to their expectations. I think they'll win in 5 in Atlanta.
Yeah, for the majority of the regular season, it was a 3-team race for the NL Central. You had the Cubs, you had the Brewers, and you had the Cardinals. Ultimately, Cardinals came up top, and the main reason why that happened is Jake Flaherty. Second half of the season, he posted a .5 ERA, which is incredible and is the sole reason why the Cardinals are division champs for the Central, and that's a main reason why I think they can upset the Braves. I just don't see it. Besides Jake Flaherty, I don't see them getting at least 2 games. I think the Braves will get it done.
Okay. I did like that the Cardinals got Andrew Miller this offseason.
That is true.
That
really
was improved their bullpen, too. So let's move into the AL wildcard, and then we'll get into the NLCS in a little bit. So the AL wildcard is the Tampa Bay Rays traveling to Oakland to take on the the Athletics. So both teams have been on a tear lately. The Rays most notably because they swept the Yankees in that 2-game series at Tropicana, which no one really saw coming. The Rays, again, being in the AL East, have won games against harder opponents than the A's, and I think they finished with the same record, or maybe the Rays were 1 game behind.
Yeah.
Home field advantage doesn't really exist in this game because, I got to give credit to both these teams because not only are the A's kind of have the Moneyball thing going. If you guys have seen that movie, where they don't have the best players because they don't have the most money, but the players that they do have play well. And I think the same kind of thing goes for the Rays. But I guess I'll pick the A's just because they have home field advantage, and I think that the Rays are more postseason ready.
Yeah, with the A's, last couple of years they've been really good teams, but when you have to play the Astros 15 times a year, and they're the best team in the AL, you're not going to win that division, so you're definitely going to be a wild card team. So I also have the A's beating the Rays. They have Sean Manaea, their best pitcher on the mound for this game, and the Rays I don't think they don't have their ace. They're going to hope that they can win this divisional game, or this wild card game, and so they start the divisional series with Blake Snell. He is actually been Blake Snell has not been that good lately. He's been missing the strike zone a lot, which I heard about, and they're definitely reluctant on starting him in the wild card game. So that's why I have the A's, also with home field advantage.
Okay, so then since we both have the A's, that means that the ALDS matchup for us would be the A's traveling to Houston for 3 out of 5 if it goes that far. The Astros have by far the best rotation in baseball now that they got Greinke at the trade deadline. Both Garrett Cole and Justin Verlander are both Cy Young candidates. I think Cole will win it in the end just because he's insane. The A's really don't have enough star power to compete with the Astros in the postseason. I know that they won 6 out of 8, I think it was, to end the year against the Astros, and they also swept them in Houston. But postseason baseball is totally different. It's kind of a totally different game than the regular season. I'll give the A's a game that they get in Oakland, Game 3 maybe, and then the Astros win 3-1.
Yeah. I mean, there's not much to say about the Astros. I mean, everybody knows how good they are.
Their lineup stacked. Alvarez.
Dude, holy cow.
Top to bottom, wow.
You think their lineup is good, bro. Their rotation's even better. Cole, definitely Cy Young. I think Verlander, he's definitely... Postseason Verlander is just a different pitcher, and you can't beat him. You can't. And also with postseason Springer, he's one of the best that's ever played in the postseason. And with Jordan, he's been crazy. He literally came at the second half of the season, and he's going to win the AL Rookie of the Year. That's how good he is. Now, I think the A's will have a chance to beat them. I think it goes 5 games, but the Astros will take it home.
Okay. And then the other American League Division Series matchup is the Yankees and the Twins. So the Twins lineup broke all these kinds of records for home runs this year. But other than home runs, their lineup isn't that good. They don't get a lot of singles. They don't generate a lot of runs. They mostly hit solo home runs, two-run home runs, that kind of thing. And that doesn't really fly in the postseason. You have to be able to have some offense other than home runs.
Keep the line moving.
Yeah,
all that type of stuff.
The starting pitching for the Twins isn't good other than Odorizzi and Gibson, and they both had pretty flunker years, I'd say.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they have enough in the tank to compete with the Yankees.
No.
I think the Yankees are going to win 3-1. The one thing I will say about the Yankees lineup is they're very susceptible to strikeouts. That's
true.
how they get most of their outs because Judge has had not the best year, but I mean he's still good. And LeMahieu's an AL MVP candidate. He was batting 350 this year.
335 now to end the year.
Crazy. But I think that I got the Yankees beating the Twins 3-1.
Yeah, I have the Yankees beating the Twins. I think the only thing that's really going to bite the Yankees in the butt is going to be giving up home runs. Tanaka, he's a home run giving up pitcher or a fly ball pitcher, and the Twins are a home run team. Obviously, they have 5 players that hit 30+ home runs. Yeah. So that's the one thing the Yankees have to cut out to beat the Twins and the ALDS.
Okay, so let's hit the NLCS matchup first. I have Dodgers Cardinals. You all have Dodgers Braves. I'll just go first. I think the Dodgers just simply have too much power for the Cardinals or Braves to compete. There's so much. They're miles better than any other team in the National League. But that doesn't mean that the Cardinals can't get it done because, like I said, they're one of the most dangerous teams. Combine that with the Dodgers bullpen, it could be a long series for whoever their opponent is. I'll say the Dodgers win the NLCS in 6.
So I had the Braves actually going in the NLCS along with the Dodgers. So we saw a matchup of the Braves and the Dodgers in the NLDS last year, and that went, 3-1 in the Dodgers' favor.
The Braves did compete with them, though.
Yes, that's true.
Year.
And they were a younger team. Acuna and Albies were rookies, one of their 2 best players. So I think this year they know what it's like to be in the postseason. I think those young guys will actually come up. And with Josh Donaldson, people don't give Josh Donaldson a lot of credit. He's one of the best players with Freddie Freeman on the Braves team, and I think they will upset the Dodgers for the National League title.
Okay, so let's just hit on the ALCS now. The Yankees and Astros is going to be one of the most anticipated championship series maybe ever. This has been lined up to happen all season long. I originally thought the Yankees would win because for the longest time they were going to be the 1 seed in the AL and they were going to have the home field, but now they blew it at the end of the year and the Astros are the 1 seed and actually have the best record in baseball. The Astros rotation is just so good, and the Yankees lineup is stacked. Judge hasn't been himself, though, like I said. And I think LeMahieu and Sanchez can only carry them so far.
Yeah.
I think the Astros will get it done. This is going to be a really tough series, though. It's going to be really competitive, really fun to watch. I think the Astros win in 7 because they have home field.
Yeah. Now, when you pair the team that strikes out the most in baseball with the team that strikes out the most batters in baseball, that's a huge favorable matchup for the Astros. When you have a pitcher that's thrown 300 Ks, which is like strikeouts, in a season, I mean, you're done. Yankees are done. They're not gonna.
Yeah,
they're not gonna.
Defense always wins.
That's true.
Good defense beats good
and
offense usually.
And the lineup for the Astros, they don't rely on the home run ball. They can put it in play.
Runs.
Yeah, they generate it. So I think at the end of the day, Astros will win in 5.
Oh, in 5?
Yes,
Whoa.
they will win in 5.
Whoa. Okay, so I have the World Series being Astros-Dodgers rematch of 2017. This time, I think it's just different for the Dodgers. I think the Astros are a better team. I'll say that. Mm-hmm. But I think the Dodgers, just because they're mad because they lost the last 2 World Series both at home. I just think it's their year to get it done if they get there. They have to get it done this year. They have a lot of guys coming up on their contracts expiring, so this is a year that they have to get it done. If they don't, they're probably going to go into a rebuild mode coming up soon.
Yeah, I can see that.
And I think with the Braves on the uprise, if the Dodgers win the National League, they have to win the World Series. Mm-hmm. Again, like 2 years ago this series went 7 games. It was really competitive all the way. I think the Dodgers will win in Minute Maid Park and win the World Series in Game 7.
That's a good take. So, Braves-Astros World Series. Everyone's going to hate me on this. I have the Braves upsetting the Astros. I get
it could happen.
I get the Astros are the most dominant team in the whole postseason and all of baseball, but I just think that there's so much young and raw talent meshed with veteran talent that's just gonna work so well together in this World Series. Josh Donaldson, Freddie Freeman, Ozzie Albies, and Ronald Acuna. Yeah, those guys are just crazy talent wise, and I think just with the home field advantage in Atlanta too, whenever it goes to Atlanta, I know that Astros have home field advantage, but it's pretty cool to see a whole stadium just chant
Tomahawk chop.
The Tomahawk chop. It was crazy to see last year when Buehler gave up that grand slam to Acuna and just see the whole stadium started shaking.
Rocking,
yeah, I mean, imagine that if they're in the World Series. I don't think the Astros could take that. So
what do you have, Braves and?
I have the Braves in 7.
Okay, in 7. So I think if the Braves make the World Series, though, again, just being so young and inexperienced, they're on the uprise, though. They're going to be there in a couple years. I just don't think, and even if they get there, I don't think they have enough power to, beat the Astros rotation. It's just ridiculous.
I've seen crazier things.
This is true. But I got Astros-Dodgers. I got Dodgers in 7. He has the Astros losing also, but he has them losing to the Braves in 7. This has been our Debatesball podcast, guys. We wanted to keep it short after the last one was an hour and a half long.
We're sorry.
Unintentionally. Yes, we're very sorry for that. So enjoy the postseason baseball. Postseason baseball is very exciting. It's one of the best postseasons, I think, of all the sports. And we'll see y'all next time.